Let's put all the corporate news into perspective with our guest Gaurang Shah of Geojit Financials, who joins us this morning. Gaurang, thank you so much for your time. As always, it's a pleasure having you here with us. First up, I want to just run past some news that came yesterday through the day and of course even this morning. And let's begin with some of these companies, some of these stocks which are in news. First up is Maruti Suzuki. It launched the e-Vitara at under 11 lakh rupees, battery as a service offered at about 4 rupees a kilometer. But overall, markets not responding very well, investors not responding very well. That stock is down. What do you make of Maruti's entry into the EV space now?
Hi, morning, Kartik. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good morning to all your viewers as well. A small disclosure, Kartik, that all the recommendations that I'll be sharing with you this morning on your show are a part of our fundamental research team recommendation from a long-term point of view. Our company Geojit or myself, we do not have any kind of personal investments, no financial interest, no conflict of interest, but we give recommendations to our clients on similar lines. They might have their investment interest. So I think, look, first of all, I think Maruti was the last automobile manufacturing company that ventured into the EV segment. Initially, when the Tata Motors and the M&Ms of the world, or the Hyundais of the world, or the unlisted entities like MG, etc., they were far ahead of what Maruti was thinking about. And in fact, I'm aware about some statement made by the management of Maruti that they are not interested in going into EV, without realizing that it is a big opportunity and the customers have welcomed it with both their hands. And of course, the late realize, and because they were late into this, the launches have got delayed. And by the virtue of that delay, the market share to the competitors was surrendered. Having said that, better late than never. So it's always welcome. It's a knee-jerk reaction, Karthik. I think the markets are also a little bit subdued, but notwithstanding the short to medium-term movement on Maruti, as a disclosure, we have been maintaining a positive stance on Maruti for many, many years now, and we continue to do that even now. I think auto sector overall, post this FTAs that are signed and the FTA that will be signed with US in March, maybe March, mid-March or March end, I think will open up a lot of opportunity for automobile manufacturing companies. Don't look at short-term pain, look at long-term gain.
Don't look at short-term pain, look at long-term gain is the view on Maruti Suzuki. Let's move on now to the change of guard, pretty much one would say, or elevation at Dabur. And Dabur has appointed Harjeet S. Bhalla, who has come from Hershey's, as the India CEO, as Mohit Malhotra moves to a global role. Again, we are seeing this change of guard not received very well, because the Dabur stock in early trade is down almost 1%, 0.9% or so. What are investors fearing at this stage, Gaurang?
So I think, look, as far as the changes are concerned, Karthik, these are not only limited to Dabur or FMCG companies. This is going to happen to any company which is a listed entity or unlisted entity. So as and when the opportunity arises, some heads may move on to some other designation, higher designation, or some other company, whatever, wherever the opportunity arises. And there will be new brains and new minds that will be coming in, and new individual that will be coming in to fill up that kind of position. Again, these are long term, it doesn't matter, it doesn't disturb the company's fundamental functioning as such. In fact, it will open up opportunities, and that will require time, because new business strategies, new input, new product launches, new innovation, investment into R&D. Then Dabur happens to be one of the company which has got 150 plus Ayurvedic products, if I'm not mistaken, Karthik.
Right.
And they opened up their new manufacturing facility down south. This is just a couple of days back. We're making a positive stand on Dabur from a long-term point of view, and consumption, Karthik, is going to stay here for a long time.
Right, of course, consumption is the long-term bet, so nothing really to fear about is a word coming in. Let's move on now to Adani Enterprises, which is investing about $100 billion in data centers. In fact, we are seeing a lot of announcements around data centers. Let's begin first with Adani, and Adani saying that this is going to be completely green energy based. It's going to be a net carbon neutral data center. But again, Adani Green is down in trade. Are investors not really too bullish on these long-term bets and high-value bets on data centers? What do you make of what you're seeing right now in the AI space, in the data center space, Gaurang?
So overall on the AI and data, let me be very, very clear. We discussed this even last time, Karthik, if I'm not mistaken, last week, Wednesday.
Yeah.
When the IT tech sector was down and out, it was hammered, it was bruised to the no extent. we mentioned that hold on to it, have a long-term time horizon. This is an overreaction or a over knee-jerk reaction, if you want to call that, of this Anthropic AI tool being launched. And I also mentioned, Kartik, last week that there are going to be many more such innovation, modernization, automation launches that will come through in the future. Maybe the run rate is going to be even faster than what we've seen now.
Yeah.
And that will lead short to medium term disruption, but long term. And the fact that if India is going to, if India is holding an AI summit, I think we should try to introspect and rethink our short to medium term approach. So we remain positive then, we remain positive now. And I think my sense is that more and more data centers coming in. And remember one thing, Kartik, data centers require huge power supply
Yeah.
because they run huge computers and huge servers and databases. So even power sector is going to do well on fallback of all this innovation and transformation that we are witnessing. So overall, have a positive outlook. Give it time. There are disturbances, but it's not like you have to write off IT altogether.
Okay, but IT apart, you're saying as far as the energy sector goes, as far as the power producers, power distributors go, the green energy producers go, you have a long-term bullish view on those given the advent of data centers?
Yeah, so your question was regarding Adani Enterprises also. So
Yeah.
it's, I mean, no specific comments, Kartik, because
Sure.
we don't have coverage on Adani
Sure.
Enterprise. But remember one thing, this was the company which branched out into many companies.
That's right.
And it created value, right? The value unlocking took place.
Right.
I can only say that it's a strong company. Unfortunately, there are a lot of news flows on this particular group,
Right.
which creates an overhang. But otherwise, there are some strong companies. Adani Enterprises happens to be a strong company. This is not a recommendation. On your second question, as far as power, look, power generation. So, Kartik, we like all the three parts of this.
Okay.
Power generation, power transmission and distribution, and power equipments.
Right.
So in power generation, we are positive on NTPC, Tata Power, GSW Energy, Torrent Power. We are positive on Suzlon, Vari Energy, if you're talking about clean green energy. We are positive on Power Grid, which has been a stellar over the last 2-3 runs. I think it has managed to again take off those 300 levels. And in power equipments, we are positive on companies like Siemens, ABB, KC International, to name a few.
Understood. Got it. Okay. So the kind of cuts that we are seeing today are buy on dip opportunity, or do you think it's okay? I mean, there could be further dips as well.
No, so okay. This recommendation is specifically to the disclosure and the names that I've given,
Sure,
Kartik. So
sure.
don't run into it. Look,
Okay.
markets will give you plenty of opportunity. There was a big opportunity on the budget day, right?
Right,
We
of
broke
course.
25,000. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then look where we are.
Right.
So markets gives you opportunities. Use those dips to get into it. Draw down a strategy. Break down your investment into parts, and step by step start getting invested.
Okay, all right. Let's go a little deeper, Gaurang, into this entire AI play, because given the fact that we are actually, having this conversation as the India AI Impact Summit continues to attract a lot of foreign delegations as well as a lot of evangelists, enthusiasts and innovators. Does India really have a strong play in AI stocks? I know we've discussed the IT story, umpteen number of times, and it seems that perhaps those baby steps are now being taken, the Infosys Anthropic partnership being one of them, TCS's bets on building the largest data center being one of it. But pure play artificial intelligence, if one were to look at it, there are these side stories that we've discussed of data centers, of power, of real estate, etc. But even if you look at the telecom story, which is going to power the connectivity beyond a Bharti Airtel without sort of, Jio getting unlocked from the larger Reliance Industries, we don't really seem to have a strong play as far as telecom goes. And then there is the consumer end of it, and the consumer companies like LG Electronics, which had a very strong IPO last year, and Dixon, which has been fairly volatile. Do we really have a large play when it comes to AI as a whole space, outside of perhaps just data center, which requires power, and IT, which is still struggling to cope up?
Karthik, I am so glad that you asked me this question, and I'm so glad that we are going step by step as far as AI is concerned. We are not going in the way Chinese and American companies are going in. And that is one of the main reason why wisdom has prevailed and we are doing this calculated move. And there is a big reason why the government is holding an AI summit, right? If there was not a blueprint in place,
Yeah.
if there was no roadmap in place, I don't think India would be holding an AI summit like this. So the fact of the matter is that there is a lot that meets the eye over a period of time in terms of transformation, evolution, automation, etc., that is going to happen as far as AI is concerned, as far as PCBs, semiconductor chips are concerned, data centers is concerned. And my sense is that, the government is in a right place right now when it comes to forming policies, getting rid of redundant policies or which are not going to create any kind of value addition, introducing new policies. And the fact that, look, these companies were created over a long-term philosophy, right? Whether it is TCS, Infosys, HCL, Tech Mahindra, or any other mid-cap or small-cap company.
Right.
These companies are not going to put the shutter down. They
Right.
are going to find themselves relevant, and that is one of the reasons why these companies have also started to. If they don't have it, they're taking over companies, right? So I mean, AI related. I'm talking about.
Sure.
So and the management was very clear, and the verbatim was very clear, Kartik, after the second and third quarter, that they will do whatever necessary to make themselves relevant and make themselves competitive.
Yeah, of course. So the long-term bet, if not short-term advantage or dividend as far as India's IT story is concerned. Finally, before I let you go, some global sort of macro headwinds which are emerging again. The military build-up that we are seeing in the Gulf. Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz. Where do you see that story going as far as investors' sentiments are concerned? Are we going to see crude oil prices shoot up? Are we going to see gold potentially rush towards the $6,000 per ounce? What does it mean for investors? The closure temporary is what Iran is calling it, but the military build-up and the talks really not coming out with anything decisive as far as US and Iran go. Where do you see that story heading?
Let me give you my view, personal view, as far as gold and silver is concerned.
Yeah.
In dollar terms, Kartik,
Yeah.
I think gold is heading towards $6,500 to $7,000 over a longer period of time. Silver could possibly head towards $150 to $200 over a longer period of time.
By a longer period of time, you mean about a year, end of this calendar year? What is the horizon?
No, it's longer period for precious metals. Kartik has to be at least 2-3 years plus.
Okay, all
we
right.
can't equate precious metals with equity return, right?
Sure,
We can't
sure.
have annualized return.
Sure.
Yes, they had a phenomenal run, but I
Yeah.
think now it's going to be step by step.
Okay.
As far as crude oil prices are concerned, my prayer to Lord Almighty is that I hope wisdom and common sense prevails upon the leaders of both the countries, and both the countries when I talk about is US and Iran, and I hope there is no misadventure in the Strait of Hormuz, because if that happens, or Kartik, then I think about 25% plus transportation in terms of sea transport comes through Strait of Hormuz for crude oil and natural gas, which is supplied to the rest of the world.
Right.
So if there is any misadventure, it may spike up crude oil prices, at least in the short to medium term. How long? Well, Kartik, honestly, when geopolitical situation, I think we'll have to just wait out
Right.
for the events to unfold and then take a call as to how long that elevation is, because it'll all depend how long the geopolitical
Right.
situation is going to be unrest over there.
All right.
But overall, I think $65, sub $65 Brent and sub $60 NYMEX.
All right. Well, let's leave it at that. And thank you so much for your input. And as always, pleasure having you with us, Gaurang. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kartik. All the best. Thank you.
Thanks.